so many fanboys in the media. Even the beat writers just fawn over him. I'm like, we're playing basketball here, and it's not even about basketball at certain points. So I get why anyone wouldn't want to be in that environment, because it's toxic, especially when the attention is BS attention. Fluff. It's not LeBron's fault at all. It's just the fact you have so many groupies in the media that love to hang on every word. Just get out of the way and let us play basketball. All right, Shannon, what is your take on this?
KD makes some interesting points, but KD, you need to stop. KD, you're never going to be normal. You're one of the best basketball players in the NBA. Let me tell you what it was like. How about this here? KD, when you was growing up in D.C., you were normal. How'd you like that? It drove you to become the player that you became. Kevin Durant, do you think you could get into these meetings in Silicon Valley if you were normal? See, Kevin Durant wants everything that comes, all the perks, Skip, but none of the criticism with being a great player. What's shocking to me, and it shocked a lot of people, that Kevin Durant is talking about playing with a LeBron James when he went and joined the 73-19 with a two-time MVP, and it was never going to be his team. Kevin Durant could not understand, Skip, how could he go to a team? He's the best player. I believe people believe that he's the best player on that team. But it's still Steph Curry's team. It's hard. See, when I look at it, when I hear Magic says, I didn't want to play with Larry, and Larry says, I didn't want to play with Magic, and Michael said, I didn't want to play with either one of them. Skip, they're looking at it from a point of view is that they're great players, and they're going to have to sacrifice. And take it from me. I played in there, and Tony came in. I didn't want to play Tony Gonzalez because somebody's going to have to sacrifice. We can't all be on the field at the same time. My numbers are going to take a hit. His number's going to take a hit. So Magic's like, hold on, I'm Magic. I don't really want to share this. But it's kind of like when James Worthy got drafted, Skip. He got drafted to a team that had Magic and Kareem. One guy had won 6 MVPs. The other guy had won 2 Finals MVPs. So when you look at it, do I think James Worthy, if he had a choice, that would have been his first priority, go link up with the Lakers? No. So I get what KD is saying. It's tough. When you want to have the ball, you're used to having the ball, and then all of a sudden you got to go to a guy, because this is what we know. Kevin Durant, when he was in OKC, Skip, everybody knew no matter how great Russell was, Kevin Durant was the best player. He goes to Golden State, and Steph Curry is a 2-time MVP. The last time he won it was unanimous. Kevin Durant's the best player. Go to LeBron James' team, and what they going to say? You're not the best player, KD. You can't handle that, KD.
That's what he just said.
Exactly.
That's exactly what he just said.
Don't make it about it's toxic. Don't make it about the hubbub. Call it what it is.
It's toxic for anybody but LeBron.
You know why? Because anybody that plays LeBron in the last decade, you're not going to be the best player. And Kevin Durant's not going to. He can be 5 Finals MVPs. But the greatest player of this generation is 2-3 from Akron. The thing that makes what I love the most about LeBron is that if you look at LeBron when he played with Kyrie the last couple of years, Kyrie, do your thing, bro. Shine. Because I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of doing. Because he proved it once Kyrie left, and he had to do all the closing, did it, passed that test with flying colors. So he has no problem taking a back seat. But I tell you what this does, this makes me a little more skeptical about whether Kevin Durant's going to join LeBron up in...
and I think you just lit that bridge on fire again with all of your remarks you just made, because Kevin's not going to like what you just said.
Skip, I love Kevin Durant. I think
now you do.
No. I've always thought he was the second best player. He's a special talent. And I get what he's saying, Skip. You think Tom Brady and what you call him want to play together? I mean, if Julio Jones and AB don't want to play together. Odell Beckham don't want to play with another top wide receiver because it's going to cut into his... If he already complaining about getting balls. Can you imagine if he has to play with AB or he plays with Julio? He got to split those targets. No, that ain't happening. But LeBron ain't toxic. LeBron good folk. He all about making the team better.
My turn?
Your turn.
Thank you. So, we touched on this topic at the end of yesterday's show, and I had just seen it for an instant and blew through Rick Bucher's article and skimmed this quote. And then I was able to let it sink in last night and sleep on it. And I got to tell you, there's no way Kevin Durant would have said this in Oklahoma City or even 2 years ago. But it took him to feel empowered, emboldened by beating LeBron head-to-head twice. And I know he had a whole lot of help and had more help than LeBron had. But Kevin was the MVP of back-to-back NBA Finals. And Kevin hit these shots in 2-game threes back-to-back in LeBron's building. So that emboldened him to the point that he called this out. He called out LeBron by calling out his media apologists. And I don't think anybody has been in a better position to observe this than I have been over the, how many years have we had LeBron? 16?
16.
Yeah. So that's really, since I started this show way back 15 years ago, I have closely observed and known, been friends with many of these media apologists who have surrounded and protected LeBron and defended him, to me, to a fault. Because the media apologists, and now they might be led by the man across from me, will be quick to celebrate a game against the Spurs. And we just got to see it in living, shouting form right across from me to open this show, that I thought you overreacted to a game against a really bad San Antonio Spurs team. But that's okay, because that's what he's talking about. That's what Kevin is calling out, because he's saying that you're going to over-celebrate the good games, and then you're going to discount, if not ignore, the bad games or the flaws, such as the late game, close game, free throw shooting, which is, it's a fatal flaw on many nights for LeBron James. And to me, it just completely disqualifies him from the GOAT discussion over Michael Jordan, but not for the media apologists, because they are quick to promote LeBron as the greatest player ever. And that is what he's calling toxic, because it's hard to be around that when you live with it and you see it up close. And you see that LeBron is getting a pass for all the drama he does create. And I always call him the most interesting man in sports history, but he is the drama king, and sometimes he's the drama queen night after night, because he will create situations because he thrives on the drama, but sometimes it wears his teammates out. Finally, Kyrie said, I just can't take all this anymore. All the cryptic media posts, the passive-aggressive, all the calling out. Was it 2 weeks ago, when LeBron said, I almost cracked early this year? And his teammates are like, really? You almost cracked? What about us? Or when we're going back 2 years ago when we first started the show, we were at the first Super Bowl in Houston, and he said, we are top-heavy. This is Cavaliers. We are top-heavy as you know what. And I'm thinking, what did the rest of the Cavs think about, it's Kyrie and Kevin and I, and then we don't have enough help?
Have you watched the Cavs? Have you watched the Cavs?
Okay, all right, but I'm just saying that's a harsh thing to say about your teammates. They're not going to love that.
Did he lie?
I don't think that's leadership. I don't think that's.
Let me ask you one thing.
That's a toxic situation.
Let me ask you a question. I just want to know one thing. You covered this game and you were in Chicago doing Michael. Did Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, or Larry Bird have media apologists? Yes or no? Not to this extent. Not that. Yes or no? Did Michael Jordan? So what is Kevin Durant talking about?
But not to this extent.
See what I'm saying, Jenny?
Well,
Jenny, I know him, Jenny. I studied
but this is just the truth. This is just the fact that
you were a Michael Jordan apologist, and you still are.
Okay, I'll accept that. but trust me, there were a lot of people in the media in my age covering Michael who did not like Michael. You know why? Because he was not good to them. And a lot of times media people will like you depending on your accessibility and your willingness to provide them material.
I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly.
Michael did not do it. LeBron speaks every day after practice, after shoot-around.
So there are no media people that dislike LeBron James. Is that what you're telling me?
Dislike him? I don't dislike him. I'm
asking you a simple question.
His game?
Because, no, you told me there were some people in the media that dislike Michael Jordan. I'm asking you, are there any people in the media that dislike LeBron James?
I'm going to say no to that.
Skip, stop playing.
Well, give me a name. Give me somebody. I don't know anybody.
Skip, really? First of all, I wouldn't put anybody on blast like that, but you and I both know there's no such thing as all or every. So everybody in the media does not like LeBron James.
I just don't, Shannon, I'm serious about this. I don't know anybody. I've not run across, this has been something I have studied carefully for many years. Can't wait to talk a little later in the show to Chris Broussard about it, because he's been in the middle of it his whole career. I don't know anybody who dislikes LeBron personally or his game.
Well, nobody disliked Michael Jordan personally.
Yes, they did.
No.
They like the
fact that he wouldn't talk to them. That's different.
And there was all sorts of layers to this. He wouldn't take social stands. He wouldn't take race stands.
Okay.
And there were a lot of reporters who did not love that about him. They didn't respect that.
And there are some reporters that don't like LeBron James because he takes too big of a stand.
Hey, I was there. You can't. And again, Michael did like me. I'll disqualify myself. But I can't tell you. There are several times. Once during the playoffs, 1998, his last Bulls run. I'm standing there with a couple of reporters, and practice ends before some mid-game against Charlotte in maybe the second round of the playoffs. And he walked by us and he looked at me and he said, "I ain't talking to you." And he called us that word, those magic words.
Yes.
I know that one, the first one. Yeah, first one. Yeah.
Hold on.
Really?
I ain't talking to you.
Hold on.
Today.
Let me ask you a question. Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
But who reported that Michael Jordan walked by and said that? Now, what would happen if LeBron James walked by me? Hold on.
Because he wouldn't.
Let me finish my point, Skip. So, if LeBron James walked by a media pool and said, "I ain't talking to none of you mofos," is that going to get reported? A simple yes or a simple no?
Yes.
Yeah, probably would. But
why not?
Has he ever done that? No.
No, that's my point.
Whoa. Wait a second. Is LeBron an angel off the court? Is he just like the greatest role model ever? No, he's not. Does any of that ever get reported? No, it does not.
What got reported on Mike?
Finally, it took the National Enquirer, but a whole lot got reported on Mike post-career.
Both.
Yeah.
So all this happened post-career, or was some of this going on during? Exactly, Skip. You know, I know, we know.
Okay, we do know. But the point is that Kevin is saying LeBron does get a lot of passes because the media does love him. And he's very lovable because he comes across as the best role model in sports, right?
Yeah.
And he's so accessible. And I also think that they see him as vulnerable occasionally because he does have an occasional bad game and people have sympathy for him.
They love him, but he's also the most scrutinized, criticized player in
I don't know about criticism.
Stop it, Skip.
Where do you see criticism? Maybe this seat, but beyond this seat, where? I don't know.
First of all, Kevin Durant didn't. Let me ask you a question, Skip Bayless. Let's just say in the Eastern Conference Finals, LeBron James had a team down 3-1, and that team comes back. LeBron James would have had to move out of the country. Well, that's what Kevin Durant had. He had a 73-9 team down.
Yet, Kevin is saying that just as the media apologists will defend, they will also attack. So it's hard to be the co-star or the second star because if that had happened to LeBron, you know what you would have done. Kevin Love can't play a lick. Or Kyrie, where were you tonight?
If LeBron James has that missed 18, 19 shots, yeah, LeBron James, it's your fault. Absolutely. And you got 3 cracks at the end of this, and he couldn't do it?
This is why Jimmy Butler, that number 2 up in Toronto, and especially Paul George, that's why those 3, they want no part of this because they realize they're in harm's way. If the team doesn't win, the media is going to come after them, not after LeBron.
When Jimmy Butler had a chance to lead the team, he went head-to-head with LeBron James, and they had a 2-1 lead. And what happened, Skip? LeBron James blew the doors off him. Paul George.
I'm not saying they're better players than LeBron. They just don't want any part of LeBron.
Well, then what happened with Paul George? Paul George was in OKC last year. He scored 2 points in a Game 5 that they got the doors blown off him. Ain't nobody criticizing him.
He got a pass.
Exactly.
Because it's Oklahoma City.
Exactly.
Right.
And Russ Westbrook, see, and nobody expects Russ every year he laces them up to be in the finals, be it the Western or the Eastern Conference. Nobody expects that from Russ. But when you play, it's like playing with Tom Brady. The expectation is you're going to be in the AFC Championship game. And Skip, if things don't go right, you do it all the time for Tom. See, when Tom's going good, he's great. When he loses, Belichick's defense, Gronk is an shell of himself. Piano man. Julian so you see what it's...
I see it, but we're not talking about Brady right here, Shannon. I got to stop you guys for now.
Well, wait a second, because you just brought that up. One guy is 5 out of 8 in Super Bowls, and the other guy's 3 and 6 in the NBA Finals. So when the money has been on the table, as LeBron says, money's on the table, I'll take number 12 in Foxborough.
Let me ask you a question. If Kyle Korver hits that shot and Adam Vinatieri misses those field goals, are we having a different discussion?
Maybe. We're going to get back to that later.
Field goals that you're supposed to make them.
So Kyle Korver ain't supposed to make that 3-point shot. The third or fourth greatest three-point.
Had he ever played in the NBA Finals before? No.
Had Adam Vinatieri ever kicked the game-winning field goal in the Super Bowl before?
Shannon, see, you're doing it.
They're the first time for everybody.
Guys, we're going back to LeBron
embodying
later. Did
exactly
Ezekiel
what
Elliott
Kevin is
deserve
saying.
a fine for his Thanksgiving touchdown celebration? We'll discuss next.